I did tell you of my childhood and my soreness about it and everything, that I did have scores to settle with homeowners in the Jackson School subdivision, ultimately for the way that they treated me and the disgraceful conduct that they uh, gave me as a child. So this article comes out and it's a local one. And it came out a few years ago, but it was Jackson school neighborhoods will be flanked by factories if city plan is approved. And I did go, and it has been approved. It has been signed into law by the governor, so it's already too late, thankfully. Thank God. This article was written in mid 2003 after the Herald determined what the state of Oregon, Senator Gene Salmon, Steve Calloway, and others were up to. In the story below, we warned the people of Hillsboro, Oregon, that their government was advocating a massive industrial development adjacent to Hillsboro's famous Jackson School and Evergreen neighborhoods. I did want to testify on my YouTube channel that these supposedly great schools and everything and their stellar reputations are, in some respects, manipulations that have been done to bury damning facts and everything against the schools, that they're trying to suppress the truth about them. During my time there in the 90s, it may have been a quote-unquote good school, but unfortunately the staff, bullying what ran rampant through the school. There was lots and lots and lots of it. It was openly tolerated, and very little discipline was ever asserted over the students, as though there were a policy in place made by the principal or whatever to never be too harsh on the kids who got away with murder at school. They were able to bully intensely and did terrible things to me at both Hillsboro's famous Jackson School and Evergreen neighborhoods and everything, and tormented me through much of my own childhood. So I look at this and I'm a cheerleader for it. I want these people to get kicked in the teeth for what they did to me. I love this idea. It's revenge. That's really what it's all about, He says, a year has passed since I wrote this story, and tomorrow night the governor will hold a meeting at Hillsboro City Hall specifically regarding the acquisition of a 373-acre area to the north. But the Herald has contacted yesterday by a source inside Senate indicating the governor will probably announce that she will take more land, and probably the whole entire 1,700 acres. If true, the story I wrote is going to be our future reality. And if you live in the northwest Hillsboro area, this is going to suck. We have suffered through 20 years of construction here in Old Orenco, and now we get to watch a 10,000-foot chemical and steam plume rise from every intel every night. You will not like that sort of reality, believe me. As we reported, our mayor and his teams were in Japan last week, but no information about that trip will be provided. Our community are all ready for this big meeting regarding the 373 acres at City Hall tomorrow night from 6 to 9 p.m. And we rally by land use watchdog groups starting at 5 p.m. And now the topic of discussion must be something much bigger happening after this meeting. Transparency, citizen involvement, disclosure, none of that has been offered. And yet our mayor, our future mayor, our city manager, and others have been carrying out this plan in private. Get to the rally, the hearing, raise your voices. Original story. Today, I want you to report on something that few, if any, are paying attention to, and damn it, you need to. If you're aware of the deal being cut in Salem to bring hundreds and even thousands of acres into the urban growth boundaries in Oregon, you need to be. Change is coming in a big way as never before. Oregon is racing to pull from behind win as billions in free federal CHIPS Acts money are being printed and handed out, landing. Any of that money means doing drastic things like taking away Metro's powers and not letting not telling landowners that they're being rezoned, and fighting to write a bill that no one can challenge in court, led by Hillsboro Senator Gene Salmon, who I voted for, and I'm proud of it, and Hillsboro Representative Nathan Souza. This same Senate bill is moving fast ahead, and by the way, it's already too late. It's passed. Thank God. This is a sixth of our article the sixth article on this topic in the last few weeks. If you need more background, read our history, our stories. The city of Hillsborough, led by Mayor Callaway and Economic Development Plan Dan Diaz, showed at the hearings big time in the 2 weeks. They articulated an aggressive plan for massive, unprecedented expansions in the west and south of our existing boundaries, as Diaz explained, for bringing the world their access to size fabs to Hillsborough. He showed a color map. On that map, the districts in various colors. Each area was articulated very well by Dan as to what its use will be, and it can happen, and how it can happen. Here's the map he presented with some notes. I just want to let you know that these are the fucks that I talked about in my video on Wuthering Heights. These are the people who tried to, rezone the school so that only kids that grew up on the right side of the street, the correct one, were going to get to go to, Jackson School. So I look at this and I'm like, yay! This is revenge! I hate my neighbors in that area. I hate the people who live in that area, the rich snobs in the Jackson School subdivision. That this will make them miserable makes me love this idea. I want to personally warn all of you who are living in the greater Jackson area who live in Old Town. Diaz and our city are promoting in the idea of industry as manufacturers, semiconductor fab, Jira subdirector placed in green area. That's adjacent to you all. This is adjacent Evergreen Middle School and Jackson School grade school. They should have thought of this, by the way, and how I might feel about this after being picked on by their kids. That I might grow up into this adult version of myself who spites them and wants to do terrible things for them. That's what happens when you treat people like shit. They grow up and they turn into this. And I am proud of everything I am. I make no apology for any of it. And anybody who thinks I can be ashamed should kill themselves. I have no use for them at all. Fuck them and their shame and their guilt. I apologize for nothing. All I am guilty of is getting justice for myself. The area, the light, noise, traffic, a decade of constant construction are enough to run a person off, believe me. We have lived this life for 30 years at Orenco Station and at Ronald Eggers Fab. This is what Dan Diaz said to the Joint Semiconductor Committee in Salem. The green area to the lower left is approximately 700 acres inside, immediately adjacent to our urban growth boundary and urban services on the south and eastern sides. This area has potential to provide near-term development sites, smaller and legacy technology fab sites like Jira Semiconductor, who you've heard testimony from, and the immediate near-term capacity of the proximity-sensitive supply chains here needing to expand and support our existed structure. And here's a video of him. So let me show you Google Earth images with an overlay of actual buildings from North Hillsborough. These are the sorts of uses that Diaz is supporting. I can't wait. I will go out there at some point to visit it and take great pleasure in watching it and how much people suffer. For those of you that are paying attention, you have obviously noted the yellow road. We have drawn you showing the northern expansion of Jackson School Road. So many of you have wondered why Jackson School Road was rebuilt the way it was, why trees were cut down and rotary was installed, and why a priority before the airport road in 25th or Glencoe was. I think this land use is all you need to know. Jackson School can quickly become an expressway as a north-south job commuter route, and it can handle a lot of trips. It may not happen this way, but it's been talked about for years now in small circles around Washington County. A discussion will be happening soon and probably a community meeting. But I want to ask all of you, especially you in the Jackson School and Northwestern Hillsborough residents, if you are ready, because unless something changes, it is happening, and it's happening because your city leaders are making it happen. Money, jobs, and influence, and you're all caught in a massive crossfire. This is a bad decision. Almost all of it is. We are off course. Money and corporate influences are doing this. This is not in the best interest of the people of Hillsborough, but it is in mine because I want to see the people of Hillsborough suffer in that area suffer, especially. I want revenge. I hope some of you will wake up and speak up. If you're going to, now is the time. Of course it isn't, because it's already passed. I went and checked the legislative session and everything and went and looked at it, and that would have been Senate Bill 4 in 2003 in the Oregon legislature. And I looked at this bill and the summary of it and the regular sessions at the legislature, and let's see, roll call, effective date, April 23rd, 2013. And it was, no, they haven't updated on this. So let's go to, the 2013 regular session overview. And we can see what happened. So the public hearing was held basically a couple of times. Recommendations was do pass with amendments and referred to Ways and Means by prior reference, referred to Ways and Means. So it steamrolled through and it made a regular special order of business. So it did in special order by the third reading, so it was passed. Second reading rules. So basically, rules suspended. So that got all steamrolled. Vote explanation followed by no meetings. All right. So basically, it passed. Basically, the speaker signed, the governor signed, and then the governor signed it. So it is effectively law already. The rules got suspended. It got steamrolled through. Great, excellent. I voted for all this, and like I said, I make no apology for any of it. They treated me like shit, and they did nothing about it for year after year after year, so it gives me great pleasure to know that the people of that area are going to be stuck with those miseries. I love it. I love knowing it.